I like to round things up, you know. It's my first day back to work after a long 4-day weekend plus 2 days. Because I didn't work Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I'll just work really long ass days, Thursday and Friday. Okay, I better drink something because starting to feel nauseous already, but I think it's because I just took some Tylenol and ibuprofen on an empty stomach. Not the smartest thing, but I did notice that if I take it like in the beginning of my day, my day doesn't start out as bad. And if I drink this mushroom chai, I can still have the energy to carry throughout the day. I've noticed that most of the things that I post are either when I'm laying in bed, fussing with my dog, or when I'm driving in the car. But, you know, that's pretty much the majority of my life, you know, lying in bed or driving in my car. I do a lot of other stuff in between, but those are the times when I want to feel like when I'm the most present, I'm the most available. Or the times when I want to say the most alone, but I don't think alone is the right word because I don't ever feel alone. And I really don't care who's around. I mean, I'll just start talking on my phone in front of my husband or other people. It really doesn't matter. I guess those are just the habits that I'm creating. I love my dog. He is the cutest. And in the morning, he does the cutest things when he's trying to wake me up, and I want to share them with the world. And he gets on my fucking nerves, and I'm sharing that too because I'm not perfect. I got some shit I gotta work on. And one of them is getting up in the morning. I've been working on getting up the first time my alarm goes off and trying not to set it every 15 minutes. So I'm up at 6:30. It's tough when I can't get to bed till midnight or 1 in the morning because now that the drugs are, I want to say, out of my system, I think it's been 2 weeks. I feel like I'm kind of getting back to myself, and I didn't realize how much of myself that I was not. It's a super interesting ride with prescription drugs. It's like they really trick you into believing that they're working, but they're causing a lot more, at least in my experience with the ones I've taken, they've been causing a lot more memory issues. Like, they get rid of the brain fog feeling, but that's just like a ruse. It's just like a facade, you know. It's like, oh, look at, you're better now. But I'm not, you know. There's actually a lot more shit going on that I didn't have to deal with before I was taking the drugs. And so by it taking away a really obvious thing, it makes me feel like, oh, this must be working. But with longer term use, it's the brain fog is like slowly coming back, and now I have the brain fog and all this other shit, and so then the medication isn't really working at all, but it's keeping me in a state of I don't even know what the word is. I want to say a state of functional paralysis. Like, I'm functioning, but the medications have been making it really hard for me to process concepts, and have really been blocking my access to my higher self, blocking my access to my creativity and to troubleshooting, and they've just kind of made me a little flat, which is like the other sorry, Dino. I got this really cool gift. Oh shit. Okay, and I'm telling myself, don't die. Okay, I didn't die. I got this gift for my friend. You've met her. She Rex. And I just set it on my dashboard so I don't forget to give it to her, because if it ends up in my house, I don't know where it'll end up. Probably in the way or tucked away. I got her this lollipop dispenser. It's so cool. I almost want to get one for my dog, but he'll fuck that shit up like he does everything. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, my mental clarity, I feel like, is slowly coming back. And in the area that I notice it the most when I'm on the drugs and off the drugs is when I started taking duloxetine, especially because that's the one out of all the medications they've given me over the last 4 fucking years, 5 years. Has it been 5 years? Yeah, 5 years. Duloxetine is the one medication that I took the longest, for almost a year. Like, I don't even know when they prescribed it. Maybe 7-8 months. I don't know. Not a whole year, but almost. That one I took the longest, and it was the hardest to stop taking. But it also caused, I want to say, the most... Well, no, triptyline was kind of bad, too. I need to blow my nose, and I don't know where any of my tissue is. I always have tissue in my car. But when, I always have my shit in my passenger seat, and then when someone comes in my car, I have to fucking move everything to accommodate them, and then I don't know where any of my shit is. Because, I can't reach it, and I don't know until I need it. Anyways. The duloxetine caused a lot of brain fog and diarrhea and nausea, just a bunch of shit that was not pleasant for like the first 2 weeks to a month of taking it. And I thought, okay, if this is worth it, then let me just try it. Let me follow through. That's been my biggest thing in life, is following through with shit. So I was gonna follow through with that. And I did. I followed through long enough to know that it wasn't working for me. Okay, it's almost a year. The one thing that it really fucked with, and mind you, I was coming off a triptyline and had to wait like a month before I went on something else. I was having such a hard time focusing on my schoolwork and my documentation and paperwork at work. It was just something that is usually really easy for me, really quick and easy. I was having such a fucking hard time doing. Like, I can literally sit down for like an hour and just fucking do like a 5-page paper, you know, or a 10-page paper or something. Like, no problem. I can do it. My mind works really quickly like that, usually. But, and on top of that, last year when I started taking the medication, I was taking one of the hardest classes that I've ever had to take, which was Advanced Quantitative Analysis and Research. And I just couldn't comprehend anything my teacher was fucking saying. I couldn't remember. And, you know, because before you take the advanced class, you have to take the prerequisite, which is the normal, basic class of all the shit you need to build on. I couldn't remember shit. Oh, I might have tissue in my pocket. I always have tissue somewhere. No, what is in my pocket? I haven't worn this jacket in a long time. Oh, a lighter, a scrunchie, and some lip gloss. Look at this. Okay. That advanced quantitative analysis and research class was so hard for me, and I was so like in the pits that I would like just sit there and stare, not intentionally, just because that's all I could do. Like, I would sit there and be like, okay, let's get this done, and nothing. And I was experiencing the same thing at work. I would like just be spacing off and unable to really focus long enough to really do something. And I had to force myself, which is not usually me. I was becoming really easily distracted, and I just could not tune things out. Usually, you know, I got through my whole fucking bachelor's online when my son was a teenager, not that long ago. And I'd go to work, come home, and do my homework while eating dinner or after dinner, around 8 or 9 o'clock, and then go to bed around 11, midnight, no problem. And I would do this all while the TV was going, they were playing video games, they were talking. I could literally take my laptop anywhere, sit down, tune in, and tune everything out, or still kind of have a conversation on a different topic with someone else while still being able to fucking focus on my homework. I couldn't do that. I couldn't multitask like that in my mind anymore on drugs. It was making it really hard to. And so I failed the class, right? I got an F because I didn't even, like, I just completely stopped. I didn't submit. After like the first couple weeks, I didn't submit any assignments. I didn't want to drop the class because I wanted to at least try. But the assignments I was submitting were like really half-ass. I wasn't really participating too much in the discussions. I was trying. Believe me, I was really trying, but it just wasn't happening. And for the last couple weeks, or at least the last half of the class, I just didn't submit anything. I just gave up. And I felt horrible for doing that, because here I am. This is like my final core class of the PhD program that I'm in before I move on to doing actual research, and I just can't fucking do it. So that made me feel incapable, and I felt like I had to make a decision. It's like, oh, school or health. And so I took 6 months off of school to focus on my health, but also to maybe rethink my dissertation topic idea. I felt pressured to figure that out, but didn't feel good enough to really do the research to figure that out. So now I'm back. And I did my 3rd residency while I was detoxing from duloxetine. I didn't plan it that way. I just finally was like, I can't do this anymore. And it doesn't matter if it's residency week or not. These drugs have to get out of my system. So the first week of residency, which is virtual, was fucking tough. Okay. Looking at the computer is making me so nauseous, but you have to be live and visible. This is like the first time I put on any makeup in weeks. I'm pretty sure of it. I will occasionally put some lipstick on just because, but I actually did my eyeliner and I did my mascara. Put on a little blush. That's pretty much all I do. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's not what I'm talking about. So I have noticed the last 2 days I have been a lot more alert, a lot more in tune. And when going over and when attending the quantitative Q&A sessions, they make sense. Like all those concepts, all those quantitative and theoretical fucking ideas and like all those concepts, they make sense now. Like everything just kind of like all the pieces of the puzzle just like went, where the medication was making the puzzle just like impossible to put together, and without the medication the puzzle just like went back together by itself. And I feel more confident in doing my research, and I also understand the quantitative process. Like, I didn't understand it when I was on the fucking drugs, which is crazy to me, like how bad they really affected my mind. And not only that, I'm able to multitask. I was able to focus on that, and while I was watching or participating in the sessions, I was also researching articles at the same time and multitasking like I usually am capable of doing. So it's been a tough 2 weeks of coming off those drugs, but it has been worth it, and I feel more like myself. I feel more alive. I still feel like some pain and shit. But I feel like that's temporary. That's gonna be temporary. I feel like this isn't gonna be me forever. I will not accept this. This cannot be me forever. So I feel like there's a big shift, and maybe taking the drugs was a part of me making that big shift and being frustrated, because I know sometimes in life you have to hit a point where you're just tired of something in order to make a change. And I think I've reached that point in my life with my health. It was really tough accepting the pain and all that, but that's not even really what it is. I now realize that I was probably just ignoring what my body was telling me. Because I've been so used to just functioning, maybe not at 100%. And so I'm not even really sure that I ever have functioned at 100%. But I can't wait to experience it. So that will be my next journey, is I want to experience what it's like to be healthy in all aspects of my life, especially my health. Because when my body was healthy when I was young, my mind wasn't. And now that my mind is healthy, my body isn't. And so I need to learn how to multitask those things. The metaphysical and the physical world, the mental and the spiritual mind, the intellectual and the creative aspects of myself, all of that, my mind and my body. I need to balance all that. I now understand that, where it's been really tough throughout my life to learn to balance that shit. And I guess that's the difference between school and the band, right? Those are my two sides. My super intellectual side, logical, and then my super creative, adventurous side. I need to learn to balance those. And of course, it would be great to be able to combine those somehow. And I think I can. I think I can through the research and through the degree and where that takes me. I don't know if I could balance those both through just focusing on music. That does not provide enough intellectual stimulation for me to motivate me, I think, to do that forever. Because once I've learned how to do it really good, I'm like, okay, what else can I learn? What's next? And the next thing for me would be learn how to sing opera. Like, and I don't think I want to do that. But I don't know. I feel like research is going to be more fulfilling in the end. Music is just kind of something that's fun. It was a passion for a while. It was an emotional outlet. It was something I did to escape my reality. And it has been a really good tool and a really good friend for a really long time. So music will always be a part of my life. It just won't be the only part of my life. And I say this because I saw a meme with two doors, and one was music and one was career, like school. And there was a guy standing in between both, and I felt that image. I was like, okay, yeah, this is the constant struggle for me. And a lot of people were like, well, why not both? And, well, why, music can be your career. And I think that that's really cool, that can be it for some people, but that hasn't been it for me. And maybe some people saying that have experienced really good, positive things with music, but I really haven't. So I gotta go based on my experiences and not the experiences of others. And keeping a band together has been really fucking tough. And the music, I don't know if I could say the music has been worth it. Writing the music in the moment has been definitely worth it in the moment. But singing the same song over and over again for people to hear, that's not really fulfilling for me. I can care less. I can care less who knows the song. And I really, get tired of singing the same shit over and over again. I'm more interested in the creative process of the music, where I get to create something with other people and I don't even know what it's going to end up like. That part right there is like cool. Performing that music in front of other people is kind of cool too, but I know that those people are not really tuned into the music like I was when I created it. And I don't know what they're getting out of it. Like most of the time at the venues, they can't understand the fucking words. And the words are the best part to me. Like they mean the most. The music, the beat, that's good too. And some people I know, they just listen to the beat. They don't even listen to the words. But the words speak for the song. Like they speak the sound in our language so we can understand what the sound is saying, because the words that I come up with are based off of the feelings that the sound is creating. Maybe other people can just hear the sound and know what the song is trying to say. But I doubt it, because there's a lot of really happy sounds with some really negative words out there. And so you're listening to the sound because it's happy, but then it's constantly giving you a negative message. So it's kind of tricking you, like duloxetine, like fucking prescription drugs, is tricking you into believing that this is making you feel good, yet you're hearing negative shit and the words impact you. So maybe I can work on making some really gloomy music with some happy words. I don't know. Anyways, I know this was like a really long rant, but this is where I'm at in my life right now.